Greetings, BlazeLeeDragon here, and today's book is actually called The Practice of Celtic Wisdom, Druid Magic. Now, this particular book was written by two individuals, Maggie Sutton and Nicholas R. Mann. Now, with this book, we'll start out with whether or not I personally recommend this book. I actually have a mix of feelings on this. I personally would have to say I don't recommend it, personally. And it has to do mostly with the writing style and the way the information is presented in the book. And this is just personal preference and opinion. I'm not saying that you should avoid this book by any means. It's definitely was nice to read through it once. I personally like to take some of my books, I'll take notes and circle and highlight things as I go through, which this one I didn't feel bad about writing in. There's some things in here that I feel are really good. There's some things in here that I just not really a huge fan of. To begin with, the sections that were specifically written, I can't always mispronunciate that word, were specifically written by Nicholas R. Mann. I actually liked a lot. I'm actually a big fan of his pieces in here and his way of delivery. Now, Maggie Sutton, no offense intended to her, I just don't like her writing style. One of the things that really threw me off in the beginning is just on the title alone, it has Maggie Sutton, PhD. And the reason it has that is you would assume, oh, she's a doctor. No, she's not. This is the part that bothers me the most. It stands for Practicing Holistic Druid, and she actually encourages you in the book that if you decide to be a holistic druid, that you should actually add PhD after your name, because now you are a PhD, or practicing holistic druid. I don't like judging others, because I think that we all deserve the right to be as unique as we want and express ourselves how we want. However, I find it misleading because PhD is usually associated with a doctorate's degree, and that, to me, it just bothers me a little bit, I guess. When I'm going through this book, the key point behind this book, as you will find in any modern revival movement of neo-druidry, it basically takes old Celtic lore and then tries to show you ways of applying those stories. That piece, I do kind of like that approach, because that is essentially what you're going to find in any revival movement. They're going to take the ancient stories, the lore, things that we have written down from people experiencing as they've gone through the ages of, hey, I witnessed the Druids. Julius Caesar wrote a lot about the Druids, what he witnessed, for example. So it's not bad from that approach of saying, hey, here's an old story about the Druids, and then let's see how we can use that in a magical practice today. There is some of them that I feel they're taking too literally, though. There is a story in here. It's talking about the Heron Pose, and this is on chapter 1, page 12, if you have the book. And essentially, it's talking about a story for an individual who would basically stand on one foot and close one eye. So in the magical practice application, after reading that story, is to quite literally have you stand on one foot and cover one eye. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, and perhaps it will help some people focus. However, I do feel that there are going to be individuals that are going to be uncomfortable or feeling awkward doing that piece. And I also feel like it might be more symbolic than actually intended for somebody to stand on one foot and cover one eye. But that's just my personal interpretation. So like I said, the book is not bad. The book is not great. The book is what it is. Just take it with a grain of salt and just realize that this is basically two individuals who read through some lore and are basically creating their own path of neo-druidry to apply for the modern druid enthusiast. So take it for what it is. This book retails for $14.95 in the USA, $23.95 in Canada. So if you do want to check that out or look it up, that is The Practice of Celtic Wisdom, Druid Magic by Maggie Sutton and Nicholas R. Mann. So thank you for watching. Feel free to leave your comments below. Have you read this book? What do you think of this book? Is this something you would buy or read again? And what are your thoughts in general? So thank you for watching. I'm BlazeLeeDragon. Tune in next time for another book review.